Hi gorgeous people! Today I wanted to talk to you about a really juicy topic called timelines, and I have an awesome story about creating timelines that I'm going to share with you in a few moments. What do I mean by timelines? Well, essentially, every choice, every decision, every thought, every feeling, every emotion we have steers us in one direction or another. And in our span of our lives, we have an abundant amount of timelines that we could possibly navigate towards or along. And with every moment, we have an opportunity to make a choice about which timeline we want to head along. Interesting, right? So I wanted to share a story with you just to illustrate how we can purposefully choose and align ourselves to a specific timeline. So I'd ordered something online at a store, and I had a bunch of errands to run on that day, and I'd been kind of zigzagging all over town doing everything I needed to do. And by the time I realized that I was so far on the other side of town, but I still needed to get back to the store to pick up my order, I looked at my watch and I thought, ooh, that's really cutting it fine. I'm probably, with that amount of time, I won't make it. And I know this store because they're really particular about closing exactly on time, and their doors will definitely be shut. And I thought, well, let me just quickly program their address into my maps and just see what the GPS has to tell me. And I got this warning sign that came up and said, warning, you may not reach your destination before their closing time. And so I had all these facts, I had all of this information around me to support a timeline that basically told me that there is simply no way that I'm going to get to the store in time. And even if I got there a couple of minutes late, their doors would be closed and they wouldn't be able to help me. But I did something different here. And this is where the juicy part comes in. This is where we get to choose our timeline. And instead of looking at what my logical mind and all the facts around me were telling me that I couldn't make it, I decided to choose and to create a new timeline. In this new timeline, I got there a couple of minutes late, and for whatever reason, the doors were still open, people were still there, and when I walked inside, they were gonna help me, and I was gonna leave with my order in my hand, and I was like, had this biggest smile on my face. So I had about half an hour to 40 minutes to, according to the GPS, to get to my destination. And so I used this time really well. And I started using my imagination and visualizing this new timeline where everything was going to work how I wanted. I would get there, the doors would be open, I'd be able to walk in, people would be there to help me, they would be willing to help me, and I would leave with the order in my hand and this big smile on my face. And I just ran this timeline through my mind over and over again. And the interesting thing was that even though I was running through this mind and my imagination, there was heaps of traffic on the road, and so this time frame for me to reach my destination was actually getting worse and worse. But I just kept running with the timeline, and you'll never guess what happened. I pulled up into the parking lot of the store, and I was late. I was over 5 minutes late, but I could see the door was still open. So I hopped out my car and I went inside, and there were still other customers in the store, and they were still busy helping them. And I walked up to the desk and I said, hi, could you still help me with my order? And the staff member actually turned around and said to me, well, we're actually closed, and I have I cannot explain why the door's still open because it should really be shut, but you're here now, and yeah, you're in here, so yes, I will help you, no problem. So you could imagine the smile on my face just kept getting bigger and bigger. And the guy helped me with my order, and there I was a few minutes later walking out the store with my order in my hand. Amazing, right? I created a totally new timeline for myself based on what I decided I wanted and not what the facts around me was telling me was probably going to happen. So this is just a handy little tip for you, a little trick, I guess you could call it, for you to create and to choose and to align yourself to the timeline that you want. And be really aware of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the sensations in your physical body, basically all the energy that you're bringing to things. And if you know what these are and you're aware of them, then absolutely you can create the timeline that you want to align to, as opposed to what you may be defaulting to because of your subconscious programming or your belief systems or these unconscious core thoughts and feelings and emotions that run through our system based on our past, based on our situations. But when we become aware, we can choose. We can align to something amazing, something new. So give it a try and let me know how you go. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Namaste.